Bernie Sanders. Oh, yeah. I know I don't know why. I don't understand why people like him. Honestly, the reason I think that some people like Bernie Sanders is because he's old and he doesn't GAF. That's not a virtue, though. That's not like a policy. I really like Bernie Sanders. He's old and doesn't GAF. Don't Google that, people. Don't. Just trust me. I'm just imagining like there's like some, 48-year-old sitting in their cubicle in their office. Like, I'm just going to Google what that just means. And then their boss is going to come over all Office Space style or The Office style. So the thing with Bernie Sanders is he is an anti-capitalist. It's easy to be an anti-capitalist when you don't actually have to work for money. That's why Karl Marx, he loved not being a capitalist. The fat, smelly man whose only positive contribution to Earth was to feed the bugs in the soil in which he was buried. If you want to consider that a tasty meal, maybe the bugs found it a boon. It wasn't Russia. They were dealing with starvation. But I digress. The reason why he thought that it was cool to hate capitalism is because all his friends paid for everything. He never worked a day in his life. His own mother even lamented this. And so Bernie Sanders is kind of the same way. I have never seen the only private sector job he did, if you want to call it this, was like back in the 70s. He did a zine, which was basically a crudely manufactured magazine, probably of barely literate material from one Bernie Sanders. I don't know what it was about. I don't even think he knows what it was about. People do this because they're scenesters and they want to look cool. And so that's pretty much the only capitalist endeavor in which he ever participated. I don't think he knows what capitalism is. He probably was told something horrific and ridiculously untrue. So it's easy for him to hate capitalism because he does it all the time without realizing it. Like, for instance, he's going on a book tour and charging people $95 per ticket. So wait a minute. You're going, and essentially, if you want to call it a service, I think it's an abuse of the term. If you're performing a service and you're charging people for that service, methinks you're engaging in some capitalism. I feel like we got to cue some oingo boingo here, man. So you're engaging in it, but yet he hates it. And he was asked, by the press, like, why are, and, to that, and this was on Face the Nation, they're selling for $95 on Ticketmaster. Like, what, like, you're trying to, get money. Listen to this. Audio soundbite 5. This was very interesting.
Tickets for your tour apparently are selling for $95 on Ticketmaster, which is accused of anti-competitive behavior. You know that. Some of your Democrats are criticizing them. Aren't you benefiting yourself from this system that you're trying to dismantle?
First of all, those decisions are made totally by the publisher and the bookseller. I think there's one case where in one place here in Washington, Politics and Prose, an independent bookstore, charging some tickets. Most of them, I think, are $40, $50, and you get a book as well. So if you want to come, you're going to have to pay $40. I'll throw in the book for free.
So, and then he was asked, well, but you still don't like Ticketmaster, right? So yeah, because I forgot about that. They really are supposed to hate Ticketmaster right now. It changes. Like, they flip a coin, and then they did, this week is Ticketmaster. We hate them because of Taylor Swift or some stupid stuff. I don't. I feel like if you're going to see, I'm going to say something very unpopular. I feel like if you're going to go see a Taylor Swift show, you deserve to be swindled. But that's me. I mean, who doesn't like to watch a middle-aged woman sing about like love, like she's a 17-year-old still? Things you're not supposed to say out loud. So, to that point, he's engaging in capitalism. Long story short, he's engaging in capitalism. And he was very uncomfortable. Well, I'm charging $95 a ticket because, madam, it's a grift. Okay, capitalism isn't grifting. Bernie Sanders trying to relive the Karl Marx life of luxury by siphoning off of everybody else. That is. I mean, he's got 3 houses. How does a guy who's never worked a day in his life have 3 houses? His wife got kicked off of her job. She headed up this girls' school. Y'all remember this? And she headed up that girls' school. And she was, I don't want to say she was pocketing money, but she got investigated because there was a misuse of a lot of money. So neither of them are good with money. I can't imagine what the hell that it is to go out to eat with them and then like the bill comes. What does that look like? I mean, neither of them can do math and neither of them know how to make their own money. So how does that work? I bet they don't go out to eat because they can never figure it out. They just think that the meal's supposed to be for free. So He rails on capitalism, but yet has no problem engaging in it himself. I don't know why people think he's cool. He's a dumb old man. Why do people think he's cool? They think it's like edgy. I don't get it. There are friends I know who work in commentary. I don't get why they think he's cool. Because you think he's like the male Sophia Petrillo? He's not. Like he's a goofball. He's a dork, man. He's a stingy old dude who doesn't want to pay for any of his own stuff and thinks you got to pay. And really, $95 a ticket for a book tour? For what? For him to do his Grandpa Simpson's routine? Like what? Just think that your money is probably better spent. And at a time when everybody's broke and eggs are $1 trillion, he's going to charge $95 a ticket. You know, there are going to be some rich Democrats that totally want to pay to go do this.